Can I get a big wave from everyone as I walk by? Thank you.
Princess wave. There you go.
Queen wave.
Yes. Ready? More so. 5 minutes from now, so let's what?
All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you all had a good night. We are here again today, and we're going to be going over some of our backstories. I think we got Bernice, myself, and Vicky to go next. After that, we're going to be answering some questions, and then I'm also going to be going through and answering some questions or asking some questions of the ladies. So let's have the female detailer of the year start off, Bernice Berry. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are y'all today? Glad to see you guys made it out on the last day here, and looking forward to next year as well. My story's a little bit lengthy, and I'll try to make it go fairly quick so I don't bore you too much. I know my journey wasn't bored, so get ready for a roller coaster ride. So anytime I said shut up or stupid, those were bad words in my household when I was young. And I got to work on cars as my punishment. And I turned 17 and I told my dad, I am no longer getting stinky, dirty, nasty, and getting my nails dirty. I am done working on cars, and I'm going to go to corporate America so that I can learn to be a businesswoman and make things happen, because cars wasn't making it happen for me. Long story short, I got married. I had 2 children. My ex-husband started using drugs and alcohol shortly after I got pregnant with my first, and everything turned very, very violent, and it was very hurtful emotionally. So I thought, well, I don't think this is for me. I'd never had a boyfriend and didn't know what having a boyfriend was like, but I know that the guys I hung out with as a tomboy never treated me this way, so I wasn't going to take it. And I took my 4-month-old, my 2-year-old, and we went to try to get an apartment, but I had no credit. Well, that didn't help because I couldn't get an apartment, so we lived in the streets. We lived in a Celica Supra for a couple months, and we ate. I had a job, and so we barbecued a lot with the homeless people in the area, and I just kind of just psyched myself out and said, you know what? We're barbecuing, no big deal. We're camping, okay. And I got to take a shower because I still had a regular job during the day. I was going to school in the middle of the day and bartending 4 nights a week. And so I got a gym membership. And I thought, okay, we can shower at the gym. And I stopped being scared, and my friends became the homeless people because I was too ashamed to stay friends with my regular people. And no one knew where I lived, and I just said, well, I live far away from here. There's no sense in coming over to my house, but I live downtown at the park where the college I went to. Well, long story short, I met this very wealthy real estate agent, and he says, well, I want to help you find a place. Why don't you come help me rebuild this little fourplex? And I said, okay. So I helped him build the rooms out, and we hung some plywood, and we made some countertops, and I laid some tile, laid some wood floors, and I learned quite a bit. And I finally got an apartment. He helped me get credit. He co-signed for me, and I got a place to live with my children. And my car broke, so I was stuck again. And I thought, okay, now what? Luckily, I lived a couple blocks from my work, so I would walk to and from work for a while, of about 6 months to a year. And I got tired of waiting every weekend for friends to say, oh yeah, we'll show up and we'll get that engine going, we'll fix it for you. I bought this thick book from AutoZone, and it showed me how to overhaul my engine on that Celica Supra. I was able to do it. It took me 3 months, but I did it and got the car started. I immediately sold it for $1,000, and we moved to another place away from there because I hated everybody there because no one would help me. And all this time, I didn't know that there were resources. So now I make sure that I let people know that there are resources out there. You don't have to struggle alone. You don't have to go without eating. You don't have to go without the help that I needed back in the days. Call me. I'm very available. I'm very alive on Facebook, and I have a lot of resources for you. My husband and I, we have Hope for the Homeless. You know, we started about 11 years ago, and we gathered our money and we came up with $600. And I said, hey, let's go feed the homeless. Let them know that we care. Let them know that we love them. And here today, I want to say last year we looked at the bank account, and that bank account is well over 330,000 just on our 503(c). How does that happen? And my husband Tim Berry, it's like I was scared to go back and talk to the homeless because I was very ashamed of that life, and I didn't want to go back. And he's like, we have to do this. You have to cut that out. And we started doing it. And we started doing it. And now we go every Sunday. And every third Sunday of the month, we pack backpacks with toiletries and towels and blankets and food and drinks for them. And every time we see them, we hand one to them. We also hand them a small Bible with a couple dollars. You know, at least they can get some chips or something. If I go out to eat and I see one, I try my best to be helpful because they want to get noticed. They want people to love on them. Everybody wants to be loved on, and don't ignore them. It hurts. We're all human. We got to help each other out. Last night's event was epic for me. Made me realize you don't have to be broken. You can fix it. You can fix anything, guys. And I don't want to cry. You can fix anything. You can fix yourself. You can fix your friends. And if you can't, just love on them. Love cures all. And detailing is what got me through. Not psychiatrists, not psychologists, not giving up. Cars. Cars showed me how to love. Every time they look beautiful, I look at my beautiful cars like, I did it. That's always my favorite saying, I did it. And to look at the car we just wrapped, to look at the car that we just ceramic coated. You know, we're a one-stop shop. In 2012, we opened our first shop. And I got bored during the winters because detailing and tinting was very slow during the winters. And we started wrapping, we started doing PPF, we started doing ceramic coatings, and we've grown from there. And never in my entire life thought I'd be making the amount of money that I make today. I always thought that I'd be broke. I always thought that I'd be searching for food. And my husband can attest to this. I always got to make sure the fridge is full. And he's like, we got to throw everything away because it's going bad. But it's my psyche. I still think like, where am I going to get my next meal? And I don't have to think like that anymore. And I don't have to worry about calling the creditors, I can't pay, or not calling the creditors and wait until they try to reach out to me. It's just, I'm calling them. Well, no, I'm paying for next month. And it's such a great feeling. And I know a lot of times as a detailer, we struggle. And we struggle because we see money in our hand. We go, we spend it. It's like, oh, wow, I made good money today. We go, we spend it. And then at the end of the month, you can't pay the bills. That was a hard road for me. My parents never taught me how to manage money. At age 30, I bought a house, and I learned how to cash a check. And I thought, wow, I got a lot of checks. I could spend a lot of money. I didn't know that you needed money in the bank for that, but I learned really quick that you need money in the bank to cash those checks. But long story short, my husband was very abusive, and he tried to kill the babies in my stomach many times, and I ended up in the hospital several times. And one day when he threw me out of the truck going 5 miles an hour, 9 months pregnant, I thought that was it. I'm done. I'm done getting my butt beat. And went home, and I festered, and I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, if I could just punch him one time and say, I win, and run, then I win. So that's what I did. Picked up those two babies. I was barefooted, and I ran 2 blocks down to the fire station, and I said, hide me, he's going to come kill us all. And it was so funny because they're like, well, what's going on? I said, just hide me. And I said, and call the cops too while you're at it. And so with all that, it started my journey out to Arizona from Texas. And so they hid me, they called the cops, they kept him in jail for a few days. I packed all my stuff, and many of my contacts helped me. I was taking care of State Farm, all their service centers. I was taking the judges' chambers, many attorney firms, the jail people, bounty hunters. I took care of all the people that needed to help me. And I thought if I surround myself by help, then I get the help I need to get out of here. And so when we came to Arizona, it was quiet, it was peaceful, I was scared. And I thought, you know what, I'm done with men. I'm so done with men. And if you guys knew some of the stories that I experienced with men, it was very hurtful. And I thought, no woman should have to go through that. It is hard to break through into this industry because you're all men. But at the same time, without you men, there's no way I'd be where I am today. It was hard reaching out to y'all because it's y'all's secret, it's y'all's building, it's y'all's thing. But I wanted to make it my thing too because I needed to see something beautiful in front of me every time we do that car. And I did have to ask a few of you, I did have to reach out to a few of you on how to do this or that. I took many classes. I have a wall full of classes that I'm still trying to fill. I've got a few more classes to take. I'm self-taught on everything because I was too prideful and too embarrassed to ask, how do you do this? How do you do that? It's the little things I asked you for. And now I want to give back. I want to give back to all of you, not just to men, but to the women as well, and try to break that glass ceiling that we've had above us all this time. And I want us to join forces, and I want us to be combined. I want us to grow families. I want us to be good to each other. There's too much violence, drugs, alcohol in this industry. And at some point, everybody needs to put a stop to it so that we can finally ask for that money that we deserve, that we've earned, that we've worked hard for in our shops, in the streets, being mobile. I was mobile for 20 years, finally got a shop in 2012. And it's a big, mind-blowing experience. And whether you're mobile or whether you have a shop, I want all of you guys to just not quit. Don't quit, because the moment you quit, that's the day that might be your day to just explode and be like, wow, super amazing. It's been a long, long road, and I've had a lot of help from many manufacturers too that stand out in my heart every day of the week, every time I detail, and every time I look at my cars and how beautiful they are Mother's Waxes and Polishes and IGL. Mother's Waxes and Polishes gave me and put me on a pedestal with Barrett Jackson. And they gave me a lot of opportunities, like giving me a Tesla account when Tesla first came into Arizona. And that's where it all started. IGL. You guys are the only ones that said yes when I needed to create this product. 2019. Thank you so much, Joel. But I want you guys to know that detailing is fun. Let's keep it fun. Let's make some money. And the more professional we become, the more money we can ask, so that none of us go hungry at the end of the day. That's it.
All right, now we got, well, thank you, Bernice. I love you. Vicky, who is the mother hen, in my opinion. She definitely takes on that motherly role and holds the whole Detail Lex shop together. Jumps in when she needs to, and she's going to give us a little backstory on how she got to where she is.
Thank you. JD, can we get a couple more mics up here? Do we have any others? Yeah, my name is Vicky Mcfarland. I am the CFO, shop mom for Detail X. I'm also co-producing this event with Daryl, and I am very blessed for that opportunity. Originally, I come from Detroit, and I always saw cars. You don't leave Motor City without having a little oil in your blood and a little exhaust fumes in your lungs, and very bad shocks from the roads. But I was born and raised here. In 2003, my kids and I came down here to Kentucky. They were just babies at the time, and Kentucky has made a home for us. So we are very thankful. It's been challenging over the years. I've been a single mom for a very long time with my kids. We've had no family here. It's all back home. But we've had a lot of people welcome us to their family. Special Olympics. That's been a big part of our life for 10, 11 years now. So that's been great. And then Detail X. Our guys are family. So, yeah, I know. Can we get some tissues? I don't detail. I've never considered myself a detailer. I've tried to vacuum a car a couple times, and they look at me and go, hand that over, you don't know what you're doing. So I try to stay out of the shop, but I try to support them with getting them what they need and, all the little T's. And when you have a business, you have so many things that need to be done to make sure that you are successful. So that's kind of my role, is I stay out of the shop. They're probably thankful I do. But like I said, I first met Daryl, I don't even know how long ago. It was several years ago. My boyfriend and I had gone in to get our cars cleaned. And at the time, Daryl had a tiny little shop. I think we could fit 2 cars in it. And, but just kind of became fast friends. So, excuse me. I had worked for Hewlett Packard when I first got down to Kentucky, and I worked there for about 10 years, and then they decided to ship my job to Costa Rica. So I enjoyed 6 months of unemployment, and I thought, I'm just going to go get a little quick part-time job while the kids are in school. And so I worked at Advanced Auto for a couple of years. I never seemed to get out of the automotive industry. I've always touched it in some way, I think. But that got very tedious very quickly. After a few shoulder injuries with an axle and a fuel tank that came off of some high shelves, I thought, I'm not doing this no more. And Daryl had said, hey, I need somebody to come and just answer some phones.
Class
Take that off.
Start in 10 minutes. Next class demos will start in 10 minutes.
So I went and answered phones with Daryl. Realized he needed a lot of help. And so probably within 2 months, I was helping run the shop and run the business side of it. And I've been doing that for several years, and I love it. And I realized that I am part of the detail world. I might not be out there with the buffer in my hand, but it is a very important part to keep those buffers in people's hands by paying the bills, making sure that they have what they need, building the business. And so that's what I try to bring to the table. So I've been very fortunate to call this home.
All right. Now I gotta go. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Now Jen's gonna speak, everybody, so please listen. All right, well, I mean, now I have a worldwide product that is in about 52 countries. I get to do a lot of cool shit. I gotta say that, and I gotta say there's a lot of people that might say, oh, that must be rough, and she gets to work on some really nice cars, and yes, I do, but it was rough, and I didn't always get to do that. I started at about 15 years old. I got into a full-service car wash detail center, and then after that, I went to a dealership. Around the time of that dealership, I had a very alcoholic mother. I seen some things that I shouldn't have seen. My dad had passed away, the one person that wanted me to have my own business at 18. My whole world kind of fell apart. I dropped out of high school. I got into drugs, some pretty hardcore drugs. I lost all my friends. I got in my car and I drove down to Florida, and I lived in my car for about 3 months. Paid for food with pennies, washing my hair in gas station sinks, stealing socks from Walmart. And I got myself sober, and I drove back up to Minnesota, got back into a technical college, started working at another full service detail center, and I had a boss who was pretty much like a drill instructor. If you didn't have the car vacuumed when it went down to the dry bay, he would certainly walk all the way to the vacuum bay and grab a vacuum attachment and throw it at me and say a few choice words. So it wasn't just me in that vacuum bay, it was another employee. So you bet that I would make sure to bring that car over to the prep bay, making sure that everything was vacuumed and wiped down. And then I would prep it and it would go down to the dry bay and I would make sure that it was all dry, not even a water dripping from the mirror, just because he would come out and he would wipe that drip and make you feel like an ass. So that's kind of like where I learned, don't make excuses. Find something to do. I always found something to do. I was never sitting around. I was mopping the floors. I was cleaning the floorboards with a toothbrush, or cleaning out the vacuums, grabbing all the mats in the beginning of the day from the dealership, bringing them over to the prep bay, pressure washing them, cleaning them out, shoveling the car wash pits, cleaning fleet vehicles, and I got myself into the detail bay. It started with clay barring, then it went to interiors, and then I started doing the exterior. I went from just being the washer and dryer to running that place within about 4 years. So that's kind of like how I got into my groove of being a manager at a car wash. And it was a lot of work. So I ended up trying to go to college at the university. That didn't really work out so well. So I'm just not a. I don't like to read books. I didn't want to go to. I didn't want 4 classes in one day. I went and bought a GTO, and I felt like making my car payment was cooler than work. So then I came back from college. And I got a job bartending, and one guy kept coming in telling me about this, high performance shop. So people always ask me, how did you get into working on those awesome cars? And I gotta say, working at that high performance shop kind of got me, known to be somebody that, worked on Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, and that sort of thing. So after working there for about 2 years, I just kind of wanted.
Until class demos begin. 5 minutes until class demos begin.
5 minutes till classes begin. Okay. So, I just kind of wanted to step out from behind the curtain. I worked at a place for 2 years. I wasn't getting paid enough. I was pushing 30 years old. And then I was going through a bad relationship, broke up with my boyfriend, left my job, and I just wanted to start fresh. So I started cosmetology. And there was a lot of people that laughed at me at first, laughed at the name, asked me why they'd go to me rather than the guy up the road. But I just knew in my heart, and I had a vision that I was going to go above and beyond. I was going to be the one that was cleaning the gas pedals and getting in between the seats and, doing the little extras. Like, I actually don't mind when people leave stuff in their car. I'll take it out, I'll organize it, I'll put it all back in, like I organized their life. I wanted to offer a service that, wasn't really something that other people did. And, getting in the industry at first, I had the horse blinders on, which I was really happy about. And I think that that's how I grew so much. And I never made excuses. If there was a deadline and I had 6 cars in, I would get those deadlines done. There was one kind of story that I heard of one time. Should I talk about the story? I don't know if any of you have ever listened to Eric Thomas. I think that's his name. Yeah, so he has this, and this is after about me working in my shop for the whole summer. There were days where and when I got into my shop, I actually got back together with my boyfriend. Found out he was cheating on me the whole time. So I lived in my shop for a good year period. There was times when I was washing myself in a blue tube bucket with cold water. And I just kept going, and I knew that it wasn't always going to be like that. And so I pretended like I had a place to live. I'd pop the door, before anybody got to their other shops, just so they thought that I was just there really early working. But there was this thing that I heard from Eric Thomas, and he was talking about how there was a guy that really wanted to succeed. So he went and talked to this guru. Well, the guru said, meet me at the beach at 4 a.m. And the guy's like, what is this guy talking about? Why is he taking me to the beach? I don't want to learn how to swim. So this guy goes to the beach, and the guru says, okay, walk out a little bit into the water. He's like, okay, this guy's nuts. So he walks a little into the water. He's like, all right, go a little bit further, maybe to your shoulders. So he keeps walking out. Then all of a sudden the guy's like, what is this guy doing? And so all of a sudden the guru shoves his head underwater, pulls his head underwater until he's, feels like he's gonna die. And then he popped his head out of the water, and the guy's like, and the guru's like, what did you want more than anything while you were underneath water? The guy's like, man, I just wanted to breathe. And the guru's like, if you want to succeed just as much as you want to breathe, he's like, then you'll be successful. You don't care about anything else that's going on. You don't care about, people are messaging me, asking me if I want to go on the boat or if I want to go to birthday parties or if I want to go out, just anything, like nothing. And it just resonated with me because nothing mattered, because I just wanted to succeed and I wanted to be known. And, I wanted to kind of, prove to myself that I could do it. And, after 1 year and then the next year, and then the next year, it's just crazy how, if you put your heart and soul into something, try not to focus on the bad, because there's going to be other people that try and, either come into your business and they'll give you awesome opportunities. Well, first of all, you want to know a little bit of backstory behind, about that person. I would say it's like 2 or 3 of my main things that I can tell people is to have a group of core mentors, people that, want you to succeed as much as you do, people that you can go and talk to, people that you see succeeding. You want to have a 24 to 48 hour rule at least. So if somebody gives you a business opportunity, you kind of want to get advice on, is this person somebody that I should be working with? Ask somebody else. Because I've gotten into a car show with somebody and they're like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. And yeah, that's pretty much most of it. I've just kept grinding. Now I get to work for, most of the time I'm, from when I wake my eyes up to when they go to bed, I'm IGL. I get to help companies all around the country grow. I get to help them, get from where they are to where they want to be. And I'll still always detail, but doing, helping people around the country is just it's an amazing feeling. It makes me choke up sometimes. I'll get messages from people and I'm like, God damn, that is amazing. It's a really cool thing, because there's a lot of people out there that can sit there and, bash somebody for trying something, but you can also sit there and just be a nice person and help them out, because I find that that's a lot better feeling than to be an asshole. Go ahead. For the people in the back. There's one thing that I got to touch on, I would say, and that's one thing that I see a lot is I'll go on the internet and I will, sometimes it makes me want to puke, because I see so many people on there that just, there's so many bots. There's so many people that are just trying to get an answer to a question. They just want to know how to improve. And then there's all these other people that have to sit and bash or hate for no reason. And in my personal opinion, I think that those people might just not be happy enough in their own life. And you got to think about that. Do not take it personal when somebody wants to attack you that way, because they just have something else going on. But, be a bigger person and help those people out that do want help. It feels a lot better inside. I will tell you that, because everybody has the opportunity to change every single day too. So if you're a shit talker today, you don't need to be a shit talker tomorrow. That's all I got to say. All right, I feel like I got that all out. Okay, so does anybody have any questions right now for us? Otherwise, I do have some questions for the ladies, but if anybody has any questions, please raise your hand, shout it out. Anyone? Bueller? All right. You got a question? All right.
So, you ladies have similar stories. And one of the things that both Joel and I observed, that some of you had really asshole men. I mean, point blank. So, how did you break that cycle? Because I think there are a lot of women that are in that same situation, and they just don't know what to do. They don't have the courage, or they don't think they can. They don't have the confidence. So what advice would you give those ladies?
I think the first thing is learn to love yourself. Yep. The next thing is, I did it to get my kids where they needed to be. And in a bad situation is the worst place. So to give them the best start, I had to learn to trust myself. But once I did, and I could see what the response out of the kids, that's what meant the most. But that's what helped me get going, is my two little rugrats.
Well, I gotta say, I certainly got pushed to a certain extent because there was a lot of insecurity in the relationships that I were previously in. So, being with somebody that will constantly ask you, whose car is that? How do you know him? Like, what are they doing here? I'm literally just trying to do a job. Okay. So when you have people that are kind of harboring what you're supposed to be doing, it's kind of like a dark cloud that will just never go away. So you'll get pushed to a certain extent where you're just like, you need to get out of my life, even when it's, finding somebody that's is cheating on you. I mean, yeah, that hurts, you know what? But then you get through it, and it's honestly better. And the next time you have somebody come into your life, you just have, A, B, and C that the next guy is not going to be. And just don't allow time for that. And if you're ever in some sort of relationship where there's somebody that's not letting you do what you want to do and you're not doing anything wrong, like change your support system. Surround yourself with, people that see what your vision is. And, call us because we'll help back you up.
I think I'm going to have to agree with what Vicky said. Learn to love yourself. Once you love yourself and be real with yourself, knowing who you are, what your vision is, and where you're headed, all else doesn't matter. Once I realized that a lot of the relationships that I was picking were because of me. My picker was broken. I had to fix it. So I said, I'm done with men. I'm going to compete with men. Then that didn't work either because I pissed off a lot of guys. So I thought, you know what? What if I join forces with guys? I'm a tomboy, work next to my brothers and help them and have them help me when I'm, behind on cars. And so I thought, know yourself, love yourself, be good to people, and show people, share people what you know. And once you start doing that, everything changed. I just stayed working. You can ask my husband. Sometimes I work 24 hours. It's okay. And they say, well, you must be tired. What's wrong with you? That's crazy. I said, you know what? It's a cakewalk from my past. The past of getting beaten down, the past of working on dirty cars, the past of being abused, emotionally, physically, mentally by men in my life. But again, it goes back to me. Those were my choices, and I made some bad choices in life. But now I'm about making good choices. So again, just love yourself.
Oh goodness, another thing I got to dig real deep on to bring back to the surface. But one thing that gave me more drive than anything, when I went through my divorce, my husband said these words that I hear in my mind all the time: "You'll never make it to where we were at by yourself." And I have far exceeded where we were at together by myself. Yeah. So I think about that all the time, and it just drives me like nothing else because I want to prove him so wrong. And a girl.
I have a question. So because of the experiences that you've lived, and again, thank you for sharing, because it shows a lot of vulnerability on your part to be able to do that. And that's not easy for anybody to do. What about today? Is it hard to trust certain people, certain men? And also, do you have, all of you individually, we talk about mentors and people that you can lean on, or people that you can pick up the phone or whatever. Do you all have that now in your lives and recommend that to others, because I find also, as Jennifer says, there's a lot of people that like to go to social media and be real dicks and assholes. And I will say the words because I don't give a shit, you know that. And I think that it's more important, instead of being that, to reach out to somebody, say, hey, I have a problem, I need help. And you guys are awesome. And I think that my question is to you again is, do you now, obviously today you do trust more people, but I think your ticker's obviously fixed, or your picker, not your ticker. And do you all do that now? Do you all have like a look, because you were saying, hey, call me, I'll be your mentor, but do you all have mentors yourself?
That's a very good question, Joel. I don't have a mentor. Well, I take that back. Right. Right. I take that back. You know, God is my witness. He is the man in my life. I also have a very strong man in my life here on earth, and that's my husband. And then I have a strong man in the shop, and that's my son. And I've surrounded myself by people that protect me from my past and protect me from people that are trying to hurt me. I always try to remain vulnerable. I always try to remain open, and I always try to remain real. There's a lot of things always coming my way, and that's okay. It makes me stronger. But do I have trust issues? Absolutely, all day long. Do I trust a lot of people? I don't, but I want to learn how to do that, because my past does not equal the present, and I need to change my future.
I absolutely love what she just said, because I feel the same way. I mean, I made God my partner. You know, I'm like, I got to have a partner. I got to have strength. And every time I would lean on somebody for that, they let me down every single time. And I'm like, I'm done with people. I'm so sick of being let down and discouraged that I'm going to just dig my Bible out. And I find so much encouragement. Every morning I get up, make my coffee. I have my devotional, or it's weird. I'll get on my Instagram and I follow a lot of motivational things. And something as simple as just reading a little meme that's encouraging can change your whole day. So your mindset is everything. And if you're surrounded with people that are negative or they're hindering your growth, you have to immediately cut that off. You know, put them at an arm's length distance, because they will bring you down. I've seen it in so many people in all different kinds of industries. And it's so important to surround yourself with positive energy, regardless of where you find that. If you find that on social media, if you find that in your Bible, if you have a husband, you know, that you're so blessed to have, you know, or a good support system, it's hard to find, because people are not perfect. We're faulty. We have our faults. And a lot of times jealousy gets involved, and people get jealous of your success. And then you're really in trouble, because you're trying to grow and be successful, and your mentors or your best friends or your partner or whatever, they get jealous, and then you're really in trouble. So my best words are, find your faith, whatever that might be, and hang on to it real tight.
I've always been really blessed with a huge support system. Chris has always been amazing in supporting me in everything that I do.
Hype man.
Super hype man over there. But the best thing I can say is definitely surround yourself with positive people, people that are definitely going to hype you up and make you feel like you could take on anything. These women up here have helped me tremendously since I have met them. They've opened up I look at all of them as my mentors. I look at my fiance as my mentor. Anyone who's going to be positive and lift me up is somebody that I'm going to be like idolizing. So that's where I get it.
I was going to just say one of my biggest mentors is sitting right there. Good old Joel. Seriously, there's been some rough times in my life, and I'm just really thankful. That's all I gotta say. Tissues on the stage. Joel pretty much knows like how hard I work. He talks to me almost every single day, and I've kind of poked at him when I was making the Genco mix because it worked so good. Joel, are you all right? But yeah, and he called me one day and he's like, from day one, he called me and asked me what my goals were. Told him that I wanted to help people grow because, I sat there in the shop for how long, like battling cars and, working 16-hour days and my feet hurt. And, he helped me get into the position that I'm in today. And then also the fact that now I have a worldwide product with my name on it, which is pretty sweet. I would say that definitely my dad was a mentor of mine. And then, my old boss, who's not around anymore, but the drill instructor, but he kind of always looked at me as a daughter, and he's the one that kind of turned me into the badass psycho detailer that I am because I have insane standards. And I just love being a mentor to people myself. So it's good to, pay it forward. That's it. All right. Any other questions?
I had a question.
Okay.
So a lot of y'all either have kids or a lot of young guys, gals, kids in your shop that look up to y'all. I know personally I've heard a lot of the guys tell me, even out of earshot from Mom and Daryl, that they would not be in any of the positions that they are in with detailing if they didn't see them or any of y'all at these conventions and see what you all do. With them looking up to you all and your kids looking up to you all as well, what is something that you would, either advice or wisdom that you would pass on to them? One thing that you want to get out there that they would remember, what would you all want to say?
Can you repeat the question? We couldn't hear you so well.
What's your question?
With the mic close to your mouth.
What advice would you give kids?
So the younger,
Follow your dreams. I worked a ton of different jobs growing up. I always had 2-3 jobs my whole entire life. And once I found detailing, I realized that is exactly what I wanted to do, and I never stopped. And that's why I kept going and, improving myself as the best I could. So don't give up on those dreams. I would say don't stop learning to backpack off of you. Don't stop. If you find something that you like, you learn every single bit that you can. You take it head on and you just go, because you don't understand what opportunities will come when you find your niche, your thing. Yeah. And I gotta say that there's, if it's something that you really want to do, don't listen to the people that are like, oh no, I don't know if you want to do that, because maybe it's something that they wish they would have started doing a long time ago. Or, just don't let anybody sort of stomp on your dreams. If you want to clean cars and you want to make them shiny and that's your thing and you love the process and the transformation, because I know, when we were getting to know each other all over the last 2 months, that's one huge thing is the whole transformation process. And it's, even with us in our lives and doing it to vehicles and helping other people and yeah.
One thing I always told my daughter is don't get too big for yourself. Nobody is above doing any job in the shop. And I've worked for some bosses that they own the company, they've got tons of money in their pocket, but they are not too proud that when help needs to be done, they jump in. One of my daughter's first bosses, she worked at Chick-fil-A. The guy that owned it would go and clean toilets just as often as he would any other job in that restaurant. And I said, that is a sign of a good leader and a good boss, and to follow that. There's no job out there that is beneath you as long as you give it 110% and treat others that same way. If you're at the grocery store and they're checking you out or they're bagging, they are working just as hard as you in whatever job they're doing. So just don't be too big for yourself. Make sure that you stay humble.
I got something real simple. It's worked for me in everything I do. Number one, dream big. Big, 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 big. The biggest, most craziest thing you could dream about. Dream big. Write it down. Write your goals down and do not give up until you've smashed every single one of them.
The person that tells you, don't do it, you're not gonna like it. Detailing is dirty, it's nasty. It's dirty and nasty for them, not for you. And if you love doing it, do it.
Do we have any more questions for the ladies of detailing?
Oh, we got 10 minutes.
You got one, Justin?
I don't have a question, but I do have something I wanted to say to you ladies. First and foremost, there's not really a gender in the industry of detailing. We're all detailers, but if I was going to point out the wonderful things that you ladies are doing, there's a bigger crowd for you guys than anybody else, which is phenomenal. That speaks in volume. So you guys don't realize it, but you are on the forefront of leading for the women in the industry. Yeah, so with that, I mean, that's something that what you say and what you do is, it's like throwing a rock in a pond, the ripple effect. And there's so many other up and coming young women, men that are seeing that. And to be real with you, you women up there work harder and are more honest and more legit than, I have to say, but half the males in the industry.
We appreciate that.
So keep doing what you do and enjoy it, and kudos and hats off to you, because you guys are leading something you don't even realize you're leading, because you guys are in positions that you're killing it, whether it be product, whether it be brands, or whether it be hands-on. You guys are all on, doing your own thing on different paths, but with the same vision at the end of the day with helping the industry. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice, that was really good. Thank you, Justin. Did anyone have a question? Question? Question?
All right, I got just a couple questions. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah. Do you
Okay. All right, ladies. Start with either Vicky or Bernice. Okay. What's next, and where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You had to make it hard.
I'm sorry.
In my mind, I'm already on the beach. But in 5 years, I hope to still be doing exactly what I'm doing. I love what I do. I love our company, the boys we have out in the shop, Sarah up front that kills it. I don't know how she puts up with the boys. But that's what I hope to still be doing, and helping build this industry and be a role model for the women that are coming up behind us.
In like 5 years or less, I hope to start metal polish training everybody. I really want to do that. I know a lot of people have reached out to me and asked for that, but I'm going to make it a goal now. So make it a date. It's going to happen. Make it a date.
In the next 5 years, I see me and Chris having our shop open. We're mobile right now. So I see us with our shop and opening things up and kind of controlling things out in South Carolina. Definitely want to get into a couple more trainings. We have a couple more classes that we have
more trainings.
We do have a couple more classes we want to take. So there's a few more things we want to add before we get our business out and going. So definitely running our business and maybe having a couple employees in so me and Chris could go enjoy our time with the kids.
Well, in 5 years, I'm hoping to have my marine line launched. We're currently developing a line for boats, which I'm super excited about. Yeah, so I absolutely love product development. It's fantastic, super exciting. And also my training center will be complete by then, and I'm hoping to certify lots of people for IDA, for Royal Reflections, anything else that they want to come to my training center for, get more people involved in the industry, because I think it's a fantastic career. There's so much potential with detailing cars. People used to say to me, "Oh, you're just cleaning cars." I'm like, the hell I am. You know what I'm doing? I have a full business plan. Like, I got places to go and things to do. I'm not just cleaning cars, So the sky's the limit. There's so many opportunities out there. It's about networking, meeting the right people, setting your goals, really high and working. And like Jen says, stay in your lane, stay focused. Like just let all the BS go and focus, you know? So that's my plan.
My 5-year plan is a little bit, it's tough. It's nothing like I've ever achieved. I feel like last night I broke the glass ceiling. It doesn't stop there. I want to bring all these women and many more with me. I've been working on a 503c for the past 2 years, with my husband for 10 years. So I have a little bit of experience, but I think I not only want to help women, but I also want to bring a lot of men along, because we need our men in our life. Without our men, you know, who's going to let us in the industry? Because you guys run the show. So my goal is to help a lot more people and show people that there is help out there. You're not alone.
That's beautiful. God, you guys. All right, so what, me? Yeah. Ooh, I need employees. That's what I need. Employees, and then traveling around the country and stopping at shops and actually getting in there with them and, you know, helping them out. That's what I want to do. I want to show them new things. I want their, you know, blow their minds. So that's what I want to do. And also be on a beach. And so, all right, ladies, how do you personally define or measure business success? Is it money, freedom, influence, creative expression, and innovation, or something else?
Being proud of yourself, of every job that you do. It doesn't matter about money. It doesn't matter as long as you're proud of what you're doing and you love what you're doing. So I agree with you. I do think that the others are, all of the above is really the answer, I think, too, is we get in this to have the freedom of working for ourselves or to do something that we absolutely love. But at the end of the day, we also have to be profitable so we can continue to do this and to give back. So I think all of it.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. Every single one of those are important if you're going to measure success. You can't measure your success without the financial piece of the pie. You can't measure your success without, you know, literally the freedom. I mean, what are we working for? We don't, you know, I mean, every single bit of that is part of the pie, in my opinion.
I got a funny one after this.
So I measure my success by freedom. You know, many years I was held down. I thought, when I'm an adult, I'm going to be free. I'm going to have money. I'm going to get tons of yeses. And I think my creative spirit, I love playing with cars. I love making them beautiful. I love doing car wraps. I'm just a car girl. So it's going to be on my headrest when I die. But anyhow, I think it's creative. I love being creative. I love changing cars and making them look beautiful. And customers not happy. Okay, don't worry, we'll take it all off and take it all away from them. And that's just me creating myself. I don't know, to take it to the next level, because I think that sets me apart from my competition. They say, who's your competition? I'm my own competition, because what I did yesterday was badass. What I'm doing today is going to be even better.
All right, I hope you ladies are okay with this. What is it? What is the worst mistake that you've ever made, and how did you turn it around?
That doesn't sound too funny.
But it could get funny. I mean, ever like done a training or anything and had the, you know, backing plate come off?
Oh, this was not me, but I know somebody. I was at a training and she was teaching, she was teaching me something. Thank God we were working on her boyfriend's car. And she's buffing the roof, and then all of a sudden, I see this backing plate just fly across the floor, and I'm like, Jen, sorry, what happened? Well, shit happens.
No, it was just funny because I went up to my boyfriend and I'm like, hey, I got good news and bad news. Good news is it's your car. Bad news is it's your car. Yeah. So So yeah, that's a mistake I made. I don't know. I think we all make mistakes every once in a while. I just didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I'll talk about one.
Ah, okay.
So this was kind of dumb. It's just I've always been clumsy all my life, and somehow I can walk in some 6-inch heels. But anyhow, I'm not too clumsy there. But so with that being said, I didn't learn machines until later in the I guess the detailing life. I was mobile for 20 years and had a shop since 2012 now. And I so did contract work for Mother's Waxes and Polishes. And being the only girl on the team was kind of fun because I had all my brothers with me. And, I didn't have to worry about being harassed anywhere because I know one of them was going to stand up and say something. They created a new machine where one of the Bear Jackson over in Las Vegas, and I was compounding this really nice red Camaro, and I thought, wow, I'm a badass. Look at me doing this all by myself, and these guys got to help each other, and they made me do this car by myself. I didn't know if it was a punishment or a blessing. Anyhow, I took it on, and then the guys with R&D came over like, hey, we got this new machine, and since you're working on this beautiful car, can you use our new machine? I'm like, heck yeah, I can use the new machine. I can use any machine. And so I went ahead and did it. I thought that I could talk and use the machine. And again, my clumsiness kind of spoke up before I did. And I was like, what did you say? And I turned this way, the head of the machine went down and it caught the wire. So the wire went all the way around my wrist. And I didn't want to cry. I was too embarrassed to cry in front of all the guys and all the customers. So I kind of just turned over and I'm like, dude, help me out. And it cut me, it was burning and it was ripping my skin. But I didn't want to cry. I was so embarrassed to cry. It didn't matter how much pain I was in. And we had to, I remember them saying, Bernice, if you cut the wire, you own the machine. It's $800. I'm like, I don't have $800 today. So yeah, that was really dumb and clumsy, but it's made me very, very careful with how I use machines now.
Yeah, that's went for meat. We're at the 11 o'clock now. So, well, we appreciate you again for all joining us and listening to our stories and the hopefully some of the advice and value that maybe we brought into how you'll start off your business or implement it into your business. Thank you.
All right, the ladies of detailing. That was pretty good, right? It was fantastic. All right, coming up at, where am I at? 11 a.m.